average 40-something has $63,000 in retirement savings. You need $1.2 million to retire. That math doesn't work. Here's why. Hookend, pattern interrupt. Let me tell you about Dave. Dave is a composite of thousands of real people I've analysed. At 43, he earns $92,000 a year. He has a 401k with $48,000 in it, a mortgage, 2 car payments, and a credit card balance that's been creeping up for 6 years. He's not bad with money. He's just making 5 specific mistakes that are silently stealing his future. And you probably are too. Pattern interrupt. These aren't obvious things like buy too much avocado toast. These are structural errors in how you think about money. Errors that compound silently. By the time you realize them, it's often too late to fully recover. But you're watching this now, so you have time. Let's walk through each one. Mistake number 1, the 401k trap. Pattern interrupt. You think your 401k is your retirement plan. It's not. It's a tax-deferred savings account with high fees and limited investment options. The average 401k charges 1.5% in fees. Over 30 years, that 1.5% eats 30% of your returns. On a $500,000 balance, that's $150,000 gone to fees alone. And most people don't even know they're paying them. Pattern interrupt. Here's how it really works. Your employer matches, say, 5%. You contribute 5%. Great. But that match comes with strings. You're locked into their chosen funds. Those funds have expense ratios, and you're probably not rebalancing. The result? You're earning 4% a year when the market returns 10%. That gap is the trap. Cliffhanger. But here's the part nobody talks about. When you withdraw that money in retirement, you pay ordinary income tax on every dollar. If you've been maxing out your 401k for 20 years, you might have $1 million in there. But after taxes, you only get to keep about $650,000. That's a $350,000 tax bill you didn't see coming. Pattern interrupt. The fix isn't to stop contributing. The fix is to contribute only enough to get the full match, then put the rest into a Roth IRA or a taxable brokerage account. Roth IRA contributions are after tax, so withdrawals are tax-free. A taxable account gives you flexibility and lower capital gains rates. Don't let the 401k become a golden cage. Mistake number 2. Lifestyle creep's silent killer. Pattern interrupt. You got a raise 3 years ago, maybe 10%. Your spending went up 12%. That's lifestyle creep. It's the most natural thing in the world. You work hard, you deserve nice things. But the problem is that raise is supposed to buy you freedom, not just nicer stuff. Pattern interrupt. Let me show you the math. Say you earn $80,000 at 30. You get 3% raises every year. By 40, you're earning $107,000, but your spending has also gone up proportionally. You're still saving the same percentage. But here's what you missed. If you had saved just half of every raise, you'd have an extra $400,000 by 65. That's a house. That's early retirement. That's options. Pattern interrupt. Instead, you bought a nicer car. You upgraded your apartment. You started eating out more. Each upgrade felt small, but they compound just like savings, except in the wrong direction. Cliffhanger. The average 40-year-old has less than $10,000 in liquid savings. That's not a recession buffer. That's a pothole cover. Pattern interrupt. The fix is a simple rule. Every time you get a raise, increase your savings rate by half the raise percentage. If you get a 4% raise, increase savings by 2%. Automate it. You never see the money, you never miss it. And your future self will thank you when you're not working at 70. Mistake number 3. The debt roller coaster. Pattern interrupt. You probably have credit card debt. The average American household with credit card debt owes $7,000. At 18% interest, that's $2,260 a year in interest alone. That's a car payment for nothing. But here's the real problem. You're not just paying interest. you're paying opportunity cost. Pattern interrupt. Every dollar you spend on interest is a dollar that could be invested. At 7% average return, that $1,260 in annual interest could become $20,400 in 10 years. But instead, it's gone. And the debt itself is a drag on your entire financial life. It lowers your credit score, which means higher rates on everything else. It's a financial tax that keeps you stuck. Pattern interrupt. The fix is the debt snowball. List all your debts from smallest to largest. Pay minimums on everything except the smallest. Throw every spare dollar at that smallest debt. When it's gone, roll that payment to the next one. It's not mathematically optimal, but it's psychologically powerful. Cliffhanger. The average person who uses the snowball method pays off their debt 40% faster than those who try to tackle everything at once. Pattern interrupt. But here's the deeper issue. You need to understand why you have the debt. Was it an emergency? Then you need an emergency fund. Was it lifestyle? Then you need a budget. Was it a medical bill? Then you need insurance. Treat the cause, not just the symptom. Mistake number 4. Ignoring your biggest asset. Pattern interrupt. What's your biggest asset? Most people say their house. Wrong. Your biggest asset is your ability to earn income. Your human capital. At 40, you probably have 25 years of peak earning ahead of you. That's worth millions. But you're not protecting it. Pattern interrupt. If you get disabled and can't work, what happens? Social Security disability pays about $2,000 a month. That's not enough to live on. Yet only 1 in 3 workers has disability insurance. And most people with it have it through work, which means it goes away when you leave. Pattern interrupt. The fix is simple. Get an own occupation disability insurance policy. It pays you if you can't do your specific job. It's surprisingly affordable. A 40-year-old in good health can get $5,000 a month of coverage for about $100 a month. That's a small price to protect your biggest asset. Pattern interrupt. And while we're at it, don't forget life insurance. If you have dependents, you need term life insurance, not whole life. Term life is cheap. A 20-year, $500,000 policy for a healthy 40-year-old costs about $30 a month. That's a rounding error in your budget, but it's a lifeline for your family. Cliffhanger. Mistake number 5. No emergency fund. Pattern interrupt. The most common reason people go into debt is an emergency, car repair, medical bill, job loss. Without an emergency fund, you put it on a credit card. Then you're paying 18% interest. Then you're in the debt trap, and suddenly that $1,000 emergency becomes $3,000 of debt. Pattern interrupt. The rule is simple. 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. For the average person, that's $15,000 to $30,000. That feels like a lot. But here's the thing. It's not optional. It's the foundation of everything else. Without it, you can't invest safely. You can't take risks. You're one flat tire away from a financial crisis. Pattern interrupt. The fix. Automate a transfer of $500 a month into a separate savings account. In 30 months, you'll have $15,000. That's 2.5 years. But you can accelerate it by cutting 1 or 2 expenses. Skip the daily coffee. Cancel that unused gym membership. You can get there in 12 months if you're aggressive. Pattern interrupt. Now let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah is another composite. At 42, she had $12,000 in credit card debt, $20,000 in her 401k, and no emergency fund. She was making $75,000 a year. She was stuck. But she found this video. She implemented the 5 fixes. Cliffhanger. 2 years later, she had $0 debt, $40,000 in retirement, and a $15,000 emergency fund. She's on track to retire at 62. That's 20 years earlier than she was on track for before. Pattern interrupt. Here's the framework. Audit your 401k fees. Commit to saving half of every raise. Use the debt snowball to kill your credit cards. Buy disability insurance. Build your emergency fund. That's it. 5 actions. Do them in order, and you'll be miles ahead of everyone else. Pattern interrupt. The average 40-year-old has $63,000 saved for retirement. With the 5 fixes, you can turn that into $1.2 million by 65. That's assuming 7% returns and $500 a month in additional savings. That's doable. That's realistic. That's your future if you act now. Pattern interrupt. But if you don't, the math is brutal. Without the fixes, you'll have maybe $300,000 by 65. That's $12,000 a year in retirement. Below the poverty line, you'll be working at Walmart, or depending on your kids, or eating cat food. I'm not being dramatic. That's the reality for millions of Americans. Pattern interrupt. The choice is yours. You can keep making these 5 mistakes, or you can fix them. The next 90 days are the most important financial period of your life. What you do now determines everything. Don't let it slip away. Pattern interrupt. If you found this valuable, hit like and subscribe. I'll be back next week with another deep dive. And in the comments, tell me, which of these 5 mistakes hit closest to home? I read every comment. Let's keep the conversation going. Pattern interrupt. One last thing. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe your brother, maybe your co-worker, maybe your spouse. Financial literacy is the most important skill nobody teaches. Spread it, and I'll see you in the next one.